Now viral. Princess Leonor 2025 wedding dress sets new standard in Europe. It was meant to be a royal wedding, elegant, traditional, expected. But what no one saw coming was that one single moment, one breathtaking image, would go on to redefine European bridal fashion forever. Because when Princess Leonor of Spain stepped out of her carriage in Copenhagen on her wedding day, the world gasped. Cameras clicked. Social media froze. And within minutes, her dress wasn't just trending, it was everywhere. This wasn't just a royal gown. It was a statement. A declaration of identity, culture, and modern womanhood, wrapped in silk, lace, and legacy. And today, it's being called the most influential royal dress of the 21st century. But what made it so powerful? How did one young woman's choice ripple across continents and set a new European standard for elegance, minimalism, and meaning? Let's step inside the moment that changed royal fashion forever. The morning of the wedding began with calm anticipation. Copenhagen's air was crisp, the streets glittering with royal banners and excited voices. Cameras lined the cathedral square. Every lens was waiting for that one image, that first glimpse of the bride. And then, it happened. As the royal carriage pulled to a stop, silence fell. The door opened. And out stepped Princess Leonor of Spain, radiant, graceful, and breathtakingly composed. Her gown shimmered under the Nordic light, not in diamonds or crystals, but in quiet confidence. The dress was unlike anything seen in decades. No excessive train, no overwhelming volume, just perfect balance. The bodice featured intricate hand embroidery, inspired by the patterns of Spain's royal heritage, subtle references to Queen Isabella's early reign and the ancient silk artisans of Valencia. The sleeves were delicately transparent, a whisper of modernity, echoing the progressive spirit Leonor has come to represent. And then the most talked about feature, the neckline. A bold, contemporary cut, elegant yet daring, symbolizing the new voice of European royalty, poised, modern, and unapologetically female. Within minutes, the internet exploded. Photos of the dress spread faster than any royal image in recent history. Timeless. Revolutionary. The future of royal fashion. Headlines poured in. Vogue called it a masterclass in quiet power. The Guardian wrote, Leonor's gown isn't about perfection, it's about presence. But the true genius of the dress wasn't just in how it looked, it was in what it meant. Because this was not a dress chosen to impress. It was chosen to express. Behind the design stood two nations, Spain and Denmark, united not only through love, but through creativity. The dress was a collaboration between Spanish designer Lorenzo Caprile and Denmark's Royal Atelier, blending Mediterranean artistry with Scandinavian minimalism. It was a metaphor, a visual bridge between cultures, much like Leonor and her new husband, Prince Christian, themselves. Every detail carried meaning. The delicate lace patterns incorporated Danish daisy motifs, Denmark's national flower, while the inner lining, unseen to the public, was hand-stitched with the Spanish royal motto, plus ultra, meaning, further beyond. Even the train length, exactly 3.5 meters, held symbolism. It represented the connection between the past and the future, between duty and destiny. But what truly stunned people wasn't the craft, it was Leonor's presence within it. Because she didn't wear the dress, she embodied it. Her walk down the cathedral steps was steady, grounded, powerful. You could see it in her posture, in her expression. There was no sense of being overwhelmed by tradition, only of leading it into a new era. And that's what resonated across Europe. The 2025 generation of brides saw themselves in her. Confident. Unconventional. Rooted in heritage but reaching for individuality. Fashion houses across Paris, Milan, and Madrid immediately began reimagining her silhouette, sleek lines, minimal embroidery, bold symbolism. The Leonor effect, they called it. And within days, her wedding gown became the new global benchmark. Even royal commentators couldn't ignore the impact. She's rewritten the royal aesthetic, said one European fashion historian. What Meghan Markle did for simplicity, Leonor has done for substance. And perhaps that's the key difference. Because while many royal brides before her have set trends in luxury, Leonor's gown set a trend in meaning. It wasn't designed to shock, it was designed to speak. And its message was clear: elegance is not about extravagance, it's about authenticity. As the ceremony unfolded inside Copenhagen's cathedral, the focus remained on her composure. The way she looked at Prince Christian, a quiet, genuine smile that broke centuries of formal restraint. The way her dress flowed naturally as she turned, unrestrained by excessive fabric. It was royal, but human. By the time they exchanged vows, Europe was already obsessed. Within hours, searches for Leonor wedding dress broke records across fashion platforms. Bridal designers reported an immediate spike in requests for Leonor-inspired gowns, minimalist silhouettes, cultural embroidery, and eco-conscious fabrics. Yes, eco-conscious. Because what many didn't realize at first was that the entire gown was made using sustainable materials, locally sourced silk, natural dyes, and ethical production. Leonor had personally requested that. In a private note to her design team months before the wedding, she reportedly wrote, "If my dress represents the future, then it must protect it." And that line alone became one of the most quoted royal statements of 2025. It showed the world that this wasn't just a royal celebration, it was a modern manifesto. Even Queen Letitia's reaction became iconic. As Leonor stepped into the cathedral, cameras caught her mother wiping away tears, not out of sadness, but out of pride. The same woman who had once revolutionized Spain's image as a modern queen was now watching her daughter take that evolution to an entirely new level. Later that evening, during the royal reception at Amalienborg Palace, Leonor's second dress, a softer silk gown with understated Danish beading, continued the theme: minimal, elegant, radiant. But it was the first gown, the one the world saw, that would go down in history. Because it didn't just break the internet. It changed the conversation. For months after, European bridal fashion shifted. The trend moved away from extravagance and toward emotion, symbolism, individuality, authenticity. Brides began choosing dresses that told their stories, not their status. And in that shift, one name kept echoing: Leonor. Fashion editors called it the era of emotional design. A movement led not by luxury houses or influencers, but by a 19-year-old princess who chose to express herself through grace. But behind the fairy tale image, there was another layer. Leonor's decision to merge Spanish and Danish craftsmanship was more than diplomatic, it was deeply personal. Insiders revealed that she had spent months visiting workshops, meeting artisans, and even helping design certain embroidery patterns herself. Her closest advisor said, she wanted the dress to feel alive, to carry meaning beyond the ceremony. And it did. Weeks after the wedding, the original gown was displayed temporarily in Madrid's royal palace, and attendance shattered records. People waited in lines for hours just to see it up close. Mothers brought daughters. Young brides took photos in front of it, whispering, "This is the dress that changed everything." Even the European Fashion Council awarded it Design of the Year, calling it a cultural milestone that fused heritage and innovation. But what truly makes this story unforgettable is how organic it all was. There was no marketing campaign, no official reveal, no staged photo, just one royal bride stepping out of a carriage, wearing her truth. And in doing so, she reminded the world what true influence looks like. Because influence isn't about noise, it's about resonance. And Princess Leonor's 2025 wedding dress didn't just resonate with Europe's royals or designers. It resonated with everyone who believes in elegance with meaning, in fashion that speaks, in love that inspires, in tradition that evolves. Today, her dress stands as a symbol, not just of beauty, but of balance. Between duty and individuality. Between past and future. Between power and tenderness. It wasn't just a royal gown. It was a turning point. And now, as every major fashion house continues to draw from its influence, and every bride-to-be scrolls through its image for inspiration, one truth remains. Princess Leonor didn't just wear the dress that went viral. She wore the dress that redefined an entire generation's understanding of grace. And as Europe continues to look back on that moment, that walk, that smile, that glow, it's clear that history didn't just watch her enter a cathedral. It watched her step into immortality.